everybody. This is Sevil speaking. Today is 26th of December 2023 and I'm recording this video for Tesol Teaching Practice Certificate. Okay, let's get started. Before I started, I want to ask you, how are you doing? How is everybody? Well, I'm feeling great. I'm ready for the recordings. Okay, let's get started. Today we are going to learn how to describe future events. Bugün gelecekte olacak olan olayları nasıl ifade edebileceğimizi öğreneceğiz. Teacher, what is future events? Gelecekteki olaylar derken neyi kastettiniz diye soracak olursanız, future events, gelecekteki olaylar, simply expressions we use to describe events that will happen in the future. Basitçe gelecekteki olacak olan olayları ifade ederken kullanacağımız ifadeler. Yani örneğin işte sinemaya gideceğim, şunu yapacağım, bunu yapacağım derken İngilizce'de hangi ifadeleri kullanırız? Bugün buna bakacağız, bunu öğreneceğiz. Actually, this is something that a lot of students can't really wrap their heads around because at first glance they look like they could be used interchangeably. And while that's true in some cases, to some extent, there are major differences that you should learn. So when we talk about future, we are talking about any time after now. Alright? Let's focus on these basic ways. So how do you know which one to use? You can think about it in a few ways. First thing, is the situation formal or informal? Because if you separate it like that, it will help you to understand which one to use. So if the situation is formal, it's formal, official, business situation, or academic situation, or even a social situation. All right? You should always use will, which is in fact of our future simple. It's also called future simple tense. Now, if it is informal, you have a few choices. Let's understand what that is. So, if it is informal situation, more casual, more friendly with people that you know, alright, then you have to think a little bit further. Is the situation that you're talking about something that you plan in advance or something that is not planned, unplanned? What does that mean? You know, for example, if I need to see the doctor, I usually can't just walk in. I need to make an appointment, right? And something like that. So this is something planned. Or if I'm going to travel somewhere, I need to make the travel arrangements, make a reservation, buy the tickets. These are the things that are planned in advance. And unplanned just means that you didn't plan it before. You just sort of decided at that moment to do something. Let's look at an example. Let's say that you are at work. You see your colleague getting up and she is going somewhere. And you ask, "Hey Jada, where are you going?" And she says, "I'm going to get some coffee." Now, Jada has a plan. She's going to get some coffee. And you say, "Oh, you know what? I'll get some too." Was your decision planned in advance? No. You see your friend Jada. She's going to get coffee. Then you say, "Okay, I'll get some too." Right? So, you just decided at that moment. So, this is an example of the unplanned one. Alright? Now, to understand a little more clearly the formal one, let's look at this example. It's an announcement. For example, at a conference, "Ladies and gentlemen, we will begin the conference at 9 o'clock. We will begin." It's very official and they are talking to maybe hundreds of people or thousands of people. It's official. Formal. Now, let's take a quick look at the structure of will and going to. So basically, here we are taking the subject, I, you, we, they, etc. We are taking the word will and then the base form of the verb. That's it. For example, I will work, you will work, we will work, they will work, he will work, she will work, it will work. Alright? That's when it is formal and you are using the full form. But most of the times, if it is informal, then we don't say all of that. We use a contraction. We say I'll instead of I will. I'll work. You'll work. We'll work. They'll work. He'll work. She'll work. And it'll work. Alright? Now, if we want to make it negative, we usually add the word not. I will not work tomorrow. Or if you want to shorten it, what would it become? Won't. Not will not. I will not is the full form. Okay? I will not, you will not, we will not, they will not. This is full form. But when you shorten it, will not becomes won't. For example, he won't work. Alright? Now, if we are using going to, then what do? We have the subject I, you, we, they. We have the verb to be, I am, you are. And then we have going to, just as an expression. Just put it in there. You don't have to change it. And then last, we have the verb. It is base form. Okay? So in reality, it will sound like this. I'm going to. Now, going to is the informal version. You don't really need to say, I am going to work tomorrow. You can say, I'm going to work tomorrow, which is the contraction, which is what we use in formal conversation. Okay? So these would sound like this. I'm going to work. You're going to work. We're going to work. They're going to work. He's going to work. She's going to work. And it's going to work. Alright, that's the basic structure. Now, if you want to make it negative, again, we are going to add the word not. But you could you could do it in two ways. With I'm not going to work. That's it. There is nothing else you can do. With the others, you can contract them in different ways. So one way is to say the not. Alright? You could say you are not going to work. Or you could say you aren't going to work. So easy way is to just put the not there, okay? If you are not sure of how this works, just say you are not going to work. He is not going to work. Not will always create that negative for you. But be aware that people will be using other form as well. You can once you are comfortable with it. And it's like that. You aren't. We aren't. They aren't. And when you come to the others, he's not going to work. She is not going to work. And it is not going to work. That is the original form. Or you could say he isn't going to work. Okay? So these are some options when you are speaking. And question will be again, you are reversing the order. You say, is he going to work tomorrow? Now, let's look at when to use going to and will in a little more detail. You already know that if it is formal situation, then of course we are using which one? Yes, will. But if it is informal, let's look at some of the points to keep in mind. The most important point you have already learned. It is something planned or something unplanned, right? That's the key. But let's look at a little more detail. With going to, planned. I'm going to call him at 3 o'clock. With will, unplanned. Okay, I'll call him in a few minutes. With going to, certain. We are going to visit Spain next month. With will, uncertain. We'll probably visit Spain next month. With going to, already decided. I am going to have lunch at noon. With will, just decided. Just decided. I think I'll have lunch now. With going to, certain. He is going to get the test result today. With will, possible. I believe he'll pass the test. So these are some of the points to keep in mind when you have to choose this one or that one. Okay? But there is one situation in particular where you can use either one. Alright? And that is when you are predicting something. You are making a prediction. For example, the weather channel says it's going to snow tomorrow. The weather channel says it'll snow tomorrow. Now, let's practice what we learn. So, remember, you either going to use going to or will. The first one is something certain. I work on Friday. What would you say? I'm going to work on Friday. Yes, because it's certain. The second one is uncertain. Maybe I work on Friday. What would you say? Maybe I'll work on Friday. Number 3. Here, something is decided already. So, he something study medicine. Yes, he is going to study medicine. Number 4. Undecided. It's undecided. So, it will be he'll study law or medicine. Let's go to number 5. Unplanned. They'll probably get married. Number 6. Planned. They are going to get married. Number 7. This is formal. The Prime Minister blank arrive at 8. The Prime Minister, what should be? Will arrive at 8. Number 8 is informal. My friend is going to come over at 8. Now, number 9 and number 10 are both predictions. So, what happens there? Do you remember? So, with predictions, we could say either one. Number 9. She blank win the election. She is going to win the election. Number 10. She blank win the election. She'll win the election. Alright? So, I hope this review help you to reinforce what you've been learning and where can you go from here. Alright, that's all for today. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye.